excited to usher in a very special guest today for the RIM segment. We're going to relive explicit moments with the one and only Ramona Bryson, the owner, the creator of 10 to the 6th. And we're about to get into all of these explicit moments of her own on the journey. Welcome.
Welcome, Ramona.
Hey, Aisha. Hey, Brittany. Thank you for having me on the show.
Thank you for having us as, what would you call us? Are we business clients? Do you call us clients? Do you call us mentees? What do you recognize your clients as?
Well, you are my clients, you're my customers, but we have a little more intimate relationship.
Yeah.
So definitely some mentorship going on there as well.
For sure.
So, yeah.
We are happy to be here.
And we're happy to have you.
Right. And to be watered by you and guided. So before we get into the questions, I know that last week, during the last RIM segment, each mentioned the business coach, and I don't think we fully have alluded to our 90-day progress that we're going through, but she's guiding us through it, and she's going to share a little bit about
who she is and what she does. Mm-hmm. And yeah. So, Miss Ramona.
Yes, Aisha.
I'm going to be calling you Aunt Molly, girl.
Yeah,
go ahead. Just, I was about to say she's trying to resist calling me.
Hard.
Okay, everybody.
Let's break it down
Let's break it down.
Yeah.
Welcome to the stage, Auntie Molly, my aunt.
Yes.
My favoriteest aunt in the whole world. My dad's sister, one of many.
It's so funny watching
Hello to all
Ramona.
of the other.
Ramona.
The others.
That's how she says it.
My aunt actually changed her name. She could get into all that, but her name is Ramona to you. How about that? Okay. Now that we've gotten that awkward out the way, Auntie Molly, tell us about your company 10 to the 6th and the reason behind the name.
All right. So let's start with the reason behind the name.
Okay.
10 to the 6th, if you're I'm a math major. One of my degrees is in mathematics.
One of them. Hello.
Yes. And 10 to the 6th power equals 1 million. And my nightmare or my dream is to impact 1 million people and have 1 million people realize their dreams. So that's the reason behind the name.
Awesome.
Right?
Awesome.
And so what I do is I'm a Agile Business Strategy Coach. And I help people to create strategic plans and execute on them to fulfill their dreams and their goals.
Awesome.
Is that where the word agile comes from? Because we hear business strategy coach, but it's like a little extra sauce on it when you add agile to it.
Yeah. So agile is all about being nimble, moving quickly, and getting to deliver on what matters most.
Okay.
Right. So Agile is used a lot in corporate America as a project management methodology. And that methodology is all about identifying for corporations what projects, programs, features, if you have an app you're developing, what feature do you need to put in that app next that will deliver the most value? So that's the thing you want to think about. Agile is always about being nimble, getting to the most valuable thing first. So that you can realize your potential, right? And if you think about when you guys did the 7-day challenge and I had you guys go through and do the prioritization, it brought you through that thing that would deliver the most value.
Yeah. We're going to touch back into the 7-day challenge towards the end of this conversation for sure.
Yes. So with all of that being said, what would you say qualifies you to be a dream coach or a coach, period?
Yeah, well.
Before you answer that, because this is supposed to lead you into it.
All right.
When did you receive clarity on the dream coach thing? Like when did it click to say this is what I'm called to do?
Yeah. So a few things. First, go all the way back to when I was in the 11th grade in my psychology class, and we studied Maslow hierarchy of needs. You guys might be familiar with that. It's the 8 areas that all human beings need to reach their highest, truest potential.
Right.
And in that class, we talked about the top of that pyramid being self-actualization. And in that moment when I was in that class, I decided I want to be self-actualized individual. So I want to reach my highest, truest potential. So I've always been on that journey. Later on, I studied more, as I'm interested in human development, studied a little more about Viktor Frankl, who's another psychologist that talked about self-transcendence. And that's all about when you reach your highest, truest potential, you help others to reach their highest, truest potential as well.
Yeah.
So that's always been like my dream. Like, and you don't have to be someone that has, a lot of times we don't go after what we want because we think we have to have arrived first to then help people along. For me is like, I'm on my journey and I'm taking people on the journey with me, and let's do this together. So that's where it started for me, was in 11th grade. Throughout my career, I've been an instructor. You know, I taught on the collegiate level for a year, and then I've helped people to study for their project management certification. I've delivered productivity and training, and that's something that I've always loved. And then that led me into coaching. And one thing I love about coaching is, like I said, when I'm working with clients and I see them achieve their dreams or achieve whatever it is they're trying to achieve, it gives me inspiration, you know? And so that's kind of where it started for me, is from me wanting to get to my highest potential, and then having coached and experienced coaching, I know that's always been my passion, you know, to bring that out of other people as well.
I love that.
So what is the hardest part about your journey to achieving your dreams? What has been the hardest part?
Ooh, what's the hardest part?
It's hard to choose.
Well, I think I have a big dream, right? 1 million people. And one of the hardest things is getting people that actually want to do the work. I think that people feel like it should just fall in your lap. And people have dreams, but they don't necessarily go after them because they seem so big, right? So one of the hardest things for me is really finding the people. I want to curate a community of people that want to take on the discipline, that want to take on the practice, that really want to do the work, right, to go after the dreams that they want to accomplish. So that's you know, one of the most difficult things for me. And then right now, I am full-time in corporate America and working on this at the same time. So at times that could be challenging, but what it is for me, again, is working with select people because I have, you know, a certain amount of available time to do that.
Right.
So I'm really strategic about who I choose, who I bring on. So if you know, serious inquiries only, right? So if you're interested, come serious, come prepared, be ready, you know. And that's what the 7-day challenge helps me to weed out those people. Because if you can't do it for 7 days,
right,
you can't journey with me for 90 days for, you know.
Right. This is true.
Yeah.
Would you say that this coaching that you're getting into, is this your exit strategy from corporate America? Is that TMI for you? I know you.
No, it's all good. It's a transition strategy for me.
Okay.
A lot of people work in corporate and then they retire, they do nothing, or then they try to figure out what's next for them.
Right.
For me, I see a parallel journey for myself. And actually, I don't believe in retirement. I feel like I'm going to work until I'm all used up.
right,
Right. I study with people from other countries, and in Australia, there's not like a retirement, right? There's, you know, whatever's next. And I don't want to live my life until I'm 65 and then like, oh, what do I want to do now?
Yeah.
No,
Right.
I want to be able to enjoy what I am enjoying now and enjoy my life throughout.
Yeah.
Right. So it's okay to talk about my corporate journey, because what I'm doing is leveraging my corporate journey and bringing everything I'm learning in corporate to what I'm doing in my business.
Right.
I've had a corporate career for 29 years now, and I've delivered on multi-million-dollar projects for corporations using the same techniques of program and project management that I now am sharing with small business owners.
So in other
Right.
words, baby, it's proven and there are receipts to be had about it. Okay?
Yes. I mean, this is the methodology that major corporations use.
Yeah.
You know, and all I'm doing is bringing that to my life and bringing it to the life of others.
Yes.
So
That's why we are, again, just like so blessed to be on this 90-day path and journey with you, you know, because we know that the information that you're pouring into us is valuable. But I just got to know, like, along this journey, because, you know, I see that you are heavily committed to your corporate ascension as well, while like building and creating, marking out this lane for yourself. Has there ever been any point where, you know, someone or something rather required, you know, your attention or suggested that you choose one, like where you can't do both at the same time?
Yeah, I mean, I've had people that say you can't be an entrepreneur and still be in corporate. You either have to be one or the other. So I've heard that before. And all I say to that is to each their own. There's no right way, wrong way to do entrepreneurship, to do corporate, or be who you are or go after what you want to go after.
Yeah.
Right? And so I think we get caught up in that people say, oh, you know, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, be an entrepreneur. If you're going to be in corporate, be in corporate.
People love to put people in boxes.
You have to be on one side of the fence or the other. And I'm definitely not one to be put in a box, Brittany. Yeah. I like that you said that. I don't like for people to try to put me in a box, but you know, I'm doing it my way.
Yeah.
And I've been there. I quit my job before.
Tell us about that. Tell us about that business you had, that experience that you had with that. You know, you quit your job. Was it Singular, AT&T? Which one was that?
It was both. So Singular became AT&T Wireless. Yeah. So let's see. Wow. This has been a minute now. You taking me back.
Because if you said Singular, we're talking about 2004 and below.
Hello.
About that time. So yeah, I was working at Singular, and I started a wallpaper company for African American children. It was called Ethnic Inspirations by Marche. And so what it was is I went to the store to decorate my kids' rooms, and I found nothing for children of color.
Of course not.
And being who I am, I'm like, hell, I'm going to just make something, you know? So this started out as something I wanted my kids in their rooms, because kids spend a lot of time in their room, in their homes. You know, I wanted them to see images of themselves and for them to be empowered about who they are as, you know, black children. Yeah. And I don't know if you've ever heard about the doll experiment.
Yeah.
Right. So that was something for me too. Like, I only brought black dolls into the house.
Period.
You know, but I wanted my kids to know that they were beautiful, you know, that they were loved, and that they could, you know, own their blackness. They didn't have to be, you know, afraid to be black. So that's where that started. And when I created it for my kids, somebody was like, you can make a whole company out of this, you know. And so that became, you know, Ethnic Inspirations by Marche. I used to travel to trade shows, you know.
Wow.
I was really close to getting a contract with like Home Depot or Lowe's, and then the wallpaper industry took a turn where people weren't wallpapering as much anymore. So those negotiations, you know, halted. But yeah, I quit my corporate job to go do that full time.
How long did it take for you to return
to corporate? So I think I left in 2006. And I returned to corporate in 2012. So I had a good 6-year stint there. And so I had the wallpaper business, and at the same time I led and did productivity and effectiveness training. So,
you know, they really say something about like the dreamers, like that the average entrepreneur has had like a handful of other business initiatives, ventures, etc. Like when it's in you, it truly is in you, and every single time it gets better.
Definitely. So, how did you find the time to manage, to juggle parenthood, because you're a mother of 3?
Yes, ma'am.
Marriage at the time, because you're living your life like it's golden, and personal life, work life, while building these businesses?
Yeah. So again, I leverage everything I learned in corporate, right? So in corporate, you got your calendar. You got your meetings that you have to attend that are definitely on your calendar. If it's important to you, you're going to put it in your calendar.
Right.
You just think about doctor's appointments. Those are in your calendar. You know, think about being here today at the podcast. That was definitely in your calendar. You know, so I leverage those skills to plan my life. I mean, some people would say I was like OCD on planning my life to the nth degree. Like when I woke up, when I'm gonna eat breakfast, when I'm gonna work out.
That's the life of my dreams. I know that sounds so weird.
Like the time I have at work, and like literally I could look at my calendar and see what available time I have to commit to anything, which is something that you go through in the 7-day challenge.
Right.
When you get realistic about your time, you can see that available time that you have to commit to other things.
Yeah.
So that's one step. And then, I didn't do it alone. It takes a village, right? But if I had something where I needed to be supported, I could see it in my calendar, my commitments, so then I could ask for the support to be supported. So that's how I did that. I'm not going to say it was easy. No, it was, it was a journey. Yeah. But yeah.
You empty nesting now, huh?
I'm happy nesting.
Happy
nesting.
Because they welcome to come back at any time?
I don't know about all that. But
your mama is tripping.
Here's what I'll say about empty nesting. I looked it up, Google. We have Google now.
Right.
So Google says empty nesters are sad and just brokenhearted.
Really?
Because the kids are no longer at home.
Baby, well, I'm gonna be happy nesting. I'm gonna be happy nesting as soon as Kyra and Kaden get out of the house.
I'm not sad that they're not home. I love them dearly. They're welcome to come and visit, and they're doing their own thing, and I'm doing my own thing now. So that's happy nesting. Happy nesting.
Happy nesting. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's dope.
I remember you said terrific threes and not terrible threes. Terrible twos.
Terrific twos. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
We're going to give you some more time because this is amazing.
This is a good one.
Now, that's how Terrific Twos were all about when my kids were having what we call the temper tantrums of the typical 2-year-olds. I would simply ask them, are you being terrific right now? And they would look at me like, are you being terrific? Okay. You're not being terrific, and I need you to be terrific,
See?
And then... it was pretty miraculous. That's what happened.
You might need terrific fives, baby. Are you being terrific, Skylar?
Are you being fantastic as a 5-year-old?
Yeah, there you go.
Are you being a fantastic 4-year-old right now? You're about to be 5 in a few months. I'm noted. Write it down.
I didn't like the negative connotation of terrible. Telling my kids that they were being terrible. Didn't work for me.
We have to be careful about how we name things.
Words have power.
It's very true.
So,
well, to bring us back here, what are the benefits? I mean, we know what the benefits have been in your life and in building and laying the foundation for your dream. But could you let our viewers really know, like, what are the benefits of having someone like you as a coach, a gatekeeper, a guide through their process?
So left to your own devices, you could just look at your own self and see, like, okay, if I look back at last year, you started the top of the year, how many things you said you wanted to get done versus how many things you actually get done.
Right.
And you left it to yourself to support you in doing that. Right? So, your viewers, your listeners can answer that for themselves. The difference that I make is I'm going to hold you accountable. Okay? If you say X is what's going to happen, we are on the journey together to make X happen as your accountability partner.
Right.
Because left to our own devices, we're going to just repeat whatever we've done before. You can look at your historic track record and see how good you are at fulfilling on the things that you've said you wanted to get done in your life. Now, if you're serious and you really want to have a shift or have something different, then you don't go it alone. I mean, just look at the greatest athletes in the world. They don't go it alone. Anyone that's majorly successful, I'm sure even Oprah has a coach.
Yeah, I wonder who Oprah's coach is. She's kept that quiet.
Who is Oprah's coach?
Yeah.
She's kept that quiet.
Good point.
Yeah. Look at people like Tony Robbins. They coach others. They have coaches. Zig Ziglar has coached other people. I mean, if you're going to be great, right, you need somebody to support you in your greatness. When you don't want to push yourself beyond, I can relate to sports because I did sports growing up, but when you don't want to do that last push-up, when you don't want to run that last 100 on the track, when you don't want to do that last suicide because you're missing free throws, when you don't want to sit there and, shoot 10 free throws because you need to practice your free throws, right? Like, it takes that discipline, and you can't do it on your own to institute that discipline. So that's the difference that a coach makes, right? And then with me, And the approach that we do it in bite-sized chunks, right? So you don't have to eat the whole world all at once, right? We look at where do you need to focus now in the next 90 days? What's going to bring the most value? And then we break that down. Where do you need to focus in the next, 60 days, the next 30 days, the next 15 days, the next 7? What's the most important thing you need to get done this week? And then today, what's the next right action you need to take that's going to bring the value in 7 days?
Yeah.
Right? And that's the way we work it backwards. We look at your vision from a 90-day perspective, and we plan it backwards, and then we work that plan forward to meet that 90-day goal.
Yes, I'm here for it. And we are definitely
we are in the midst of that 90 days. So if you have witnessed any growth from Nightmare Radio, you can go ahead and thank.
Go ahead and say it.
Auntie Molly.
Auntie Molly. Auntie Molly has been the auntie that fell from heaven.
That's right.
But we could not have me and Brittany have definitely gotten far, but I can definitely say that this year for sure puts a different focus on it. It puts a different perspective on everything. You're really honing in on, okay, we started out in the trenches with this podcast. Mm-hmm. We reflected on that the other day. And you know what?
We didn't even acknowledge our public.
Acknowledge it. Daggone it. This is our 2-year anniversary this week. Shout out to us. This is our 2nd year of us having Nightmare Radio.
Blessed to be here, man.
Congrats.
We'll go detail about that at a later time. We need a special video for that.
We definitely a mukbang or something. But but it just puts everything into perspective now with the coach and really writing down where we see ourselves in the next 90 days or where we just putting your business into perspective, because there's a lot of people who have businesses that you're not really operating as a business, as a real business. You're not really even doing it right. You're just on Instagram taking cash apps, or, you really have to really make the best out of your LLC, I think, for sure. And it's time for us to do that. So if you get hit with a fee, it just is what it is. We got to pay Uncle Sam.
And you better pay that invoice. I'm just saying, if that message applies to you,
hello,
you better pay it.
Pay it and pay it fast. But Auntie Marley, thank you so much for coming to the show. We really appreciate you. We love you. We thank you for everything that you have poured into us thus far. And for anyone who would like to be poured into from you, who would like to take the 7-day challenge, let them know how they can find it.
Yes, you can go to www.10to6. That's TENTOTHESIXTH.com. I'm sorry, I'm just looking at Aisha. So that's 10to6.com,
www.TENTOTHESIXTH.com.
You're making me laugh looking at this thing.
We're going to put it underneath.
There's a 7-day challenge. It's free.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. It's free. Take the time. What your goals are important to you. So take the time, carve out an hour a day to work on this challenge for 7 days. Figure out what's your top priority. Figure out what's your vision, your why you're doing what you're doing, why you're going after what you're going after. And then look at a roadmap for yourself. Create that 90-day roadmap. I take you through this free challenge. You look at where you want to be in 90 days and you map that back. And then you plan what's called your first sprint. So that's the first 2 weeks of working toward that 90-day goal. So, that's where you can find it, www.10to6.com.
Yes.
Awesome, everyone. We're going to get into this quick message and we'll be right back.